Hi, I'm Chef Sherry Ronning, and I'm here with you today for another segment in the Healthy Griddle Cooking Series. I'm just going to turn on my griddle here and get that going so it warms up while I'm talking here. I'm going to set it for 350. And thank you for spending your time with me. This is several episodes now in the Healthy Griddle Cooking Series. So if you've missed any of them, you can go back on my channel and you can catch up with all the different ones that I've done. I've done quite a few different ones. I've done breakfast, the omelets and the eggs. I'm doing this is kind of more of a snack, a lunch kind of a thing. I'm doing the chicken wraps. So I'm going to do them a couple different ways for you just to give you, a few options. And, this is so easily customizable. You can add and take out whatever you would like. And if you are coming in, I do see I have a few people here. I am broadcasting on my YouTube live page, my YouTube page. If you're not a subscriber, please go and subscribe to that. I'm also going into a couple different Facebook groups. I have my Blackstone Griddle Lovers Facebook page that if you're not a member of, if you want to go join that, please do. And then just my private, my From Michigan to the Table Facebook page I'm also going into. So, if you're a part of them, if you're commenting, please comment. I'd like to know where you're from. I've had all kinds of, when I've been doing this, I've got Indiana, Illinois, I've got Alabama, I've got Florida, I've all over. And just post where you're from, even if you're watching the replays, because I go back and I look at that and I read the comments and stuff on there. So just post in, and if you're commenting from any of the Facebook groups, when I can't see your comments come up here. It just says Facebook user. Put your name in with your comment, please, so I know who you are while I'm going live on the broadcast here, because I really like to know who I'm talking to. My brother was on yesterday and he made a comment and I didn't realize it was from him until afterwards when I looked at the comments, and I'm like, you little stinker. I wish I would have known it was him. I would have acknowledged him. So thank you, my brother Joe. He's one of my biggest supporters. I really appreciate him watching, and I really appreciate all of you guys watching me. I love the support, and it means a lot to me and my small business. I have a food blog called FromMichiganToTheTable.com. I also have a website, mygriddlesecrets.com, that has all kinds of griddle related stuff. I'm going to show you my cookbook recipes for the Blackstone griddle. You can get on both my website or my mygriddlesecrets.com. This is over 50 recipes, and every single recipe has a full color photo. That's one of my huge pet peeves when I get a cookbook, and almost all of it you are all recipes and not hardly any pictures at all. So every single recipe in this cookbook has a full color photo with it, at least one. Sometimes there's a few more that I have process shots and stuff. So go, if you would like to support a small business, please purchase this. I have the digital copy also that you can get right away. If you buy the printed, then you get the digital copy for free. And let's see, I also have a My Griddle Secrets course that if you want to learn more about cooking on the griddle, just go check that out and see what I have to offer. I'm in Michigan here. It is cold. We're in the middle of a snowstorm. It is not even 20 degrees. I just looked at the temperature. It is, I don't know if you can see out there at all. We're getting snow. It's snowing a little bit right now. My husband is out snow blowing, and it's cold. I don't like to go outside when it's cold, so I'm one of those wuss. I like to stay inside on, and I forgot to do this again. I hate it when I do this. So I set the temperature, but I didn't press it to actually start it so it hasn't been warming up. I was thinking that while I was talking it was warming up, and it has not done that. So I hate it. I've done that a couple times while I've done recording, but I do that all the time. It's one of those things that I turn it to the temperature and I think it's going to go, but you actually have to push it and hear that little chimes on it, and then now it's like I hear it clicking and I hear it going, and it is warming up. So I'm just going to go through and explain what I'm using. I have just a chicken breast here that I marinated in just some Italian seasoning. You can do this up to a day ahead of time. I just did this a couple hours ago, so it hasn't been too long, and the strips are thin, so and with this recipe you can do just the plain chicken breast if you don't want the season, the marinade on it. You can do, I've done the garlic butter chicken or the Parmesan chicken. You can do that instead of this step, and basically it's just the griddle chicken with pats of the butter on it, which would be really good. So, and another thing that I'm going to be doing is for my husband, if you are lucky enough, so I'm using the 17-inch electric Blackstone griddle for this demonstration. You can use the outside gas griddle. I have the 36-inch Blackstone griddle that's outside, and I also have the 22-inch Blackstone griddle. But those are gas, and it's too cold out there for me. I'm a wuss. I don't like the cold. I like to stay inside. That's why I got my amazing electric griddle, so I can cook all year round, either cooking indoors or outdoors depending on the mood that I'm in. So that's just a little bit about me. So this I have set to 350. And I'll know it has the lines on it, so I'll know when it turns orange when it's completely heated up. The outside griddle, the gas one, you're probably gonna maybe do low, medium. I would say medium low is probably what I would do with that one out there. Every griddle is different. You need to find the sweet spot for your griddle and the comfort zone that you're cooking with. With the chicken, with the strips, if it was thicker, like a whole breast that I'm cooking, I would probably do it low because it's going to take a longer time to get the center cooked. This that I have it cut in strips, it's pretty simple, or it's pretty like you do it on the one side, brown it a little bit, get a little bit of the color, then turn it over. And by the time you do that, it's done on the inside. So, this recipe is pretty quick and simple. I'm going to do with the wraps I'm simple. I like to just go in my refrigerator, see what I have, grab a couple things, and for me, this is staples that I have in my refrigerator all the time. And we like to keep it simple. I don't add like a ton of stuff. My kids do when they're around and they're here. They like to dress it up a little bit. For my husband and I, we just keep it simple ingredients. So I'm going to be using chopped romaine lettuce. And then my husband doesn't really care for the romaine. So I'm just going to do some iceberg lettuce that I've just cut up for him. I have the tortilla shells. I'm using the smaller size. What is this? This is, does it say? Let me just measure really quickly. What size? I want to say 8-inch. Yeah, these are the 8-inch shells. You can use bigger if you want, but I'm going more of just a small snack size. I'm not going really big with this. And I'm using some shredded cheese that I have. I'm doing this, I'm going to try a little bit. So I'm going to use the marinated chicken, but I also air fried some chicken bites that if you're lucky enough, if you have the air fryer with your Blackstone griddle, use the air fryer in your griddle. This is just some Costco chicken, Kirkland chicken that my daughter got me, and it's really nice, really good and tasting. So I air fried it in the air fryer before we started. So it is kind of cooled down a little bit, and it's not like piping hot to where I can't cut it. But I'm going to cut that up and use that. I'm just trying a few different chicken wraps. I'm going to show you what I do. And I'm using dressing. I'm using Caesar, and I'm using ranch. So basically the 2 lettuces, the 2 ranch, the cheese, the shell, and I'm using 2 different types of chicken in this. And then I'll show you how I put it all together. It's all warmed. My meter here is telling me that it's time to go. I'm gonna get rocking and rolling on this. And we're at just about 11 minutes. So I just wanna see how long that it's gonna take to cook this. To make these, I'm going to split the griddle. I'm going to do one side of the griddle because I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with the rest of it, because I don't want to gunk up the griddle completely. I'm using my tongs. Remember, when you're doing the electric griddle, you want the silicone. You want to use silicone or plastic utensils on it. The outside griddle, you can use the metal. That's perfectly fine to do that. I'm just going to take my chicken that's been marinated, and you hear that sizzle? That's exactly what you want to hear. I'm going to put it on. It does have a little bit of the Italian dressing marinade on it. Lola, and I hope you can't hear that. I got Lola barking. Randy's outside doing the snow blowing, so I may have to get her. There you go. And I'm not going to use that extra stuff. I'm going to throw it away. And also the tongs that I used here, I'm going to toss that into my soapy water. I'm just going to rinse my hands quick here because you don't want to cross-contaminate. Make sure, can you guys hear the dog barking? I don't know if this microphone is picking it up or not. She's going crazy here, and if you can hear the barking in there, could you just put in the comments whether you can hear her or not? If you can hear her, I'm going to put her in her cage. But the chicken, so I'm going to do a close-up of the chicken, and you can see it's bubbling here. I don't have it up high, and so this is where if you wanna do it quick, you can turn it up high, but I want to make sure that the chicken gets done also. I don't want to have raw chicken, so I'm just doing it kind of low and slow. And I'm gonna get her. Lola, go lay down. Go lay down. Go. Sorry about that. I have a little Yorkie puppy. Come here. You want to come up here and say hi to everybody? No, you're not going to say hi? You can maybe see her. A lot of times she's in the background walking around. She is usually stuck by me all the time. Anywhere I go, Lola goes. Lola is here. She's a 6-pound Yorkie. And my husband is outside snow blowing, and she thinks she needs to be the watchdog and tell me that somebody is out there. And let's see. So I have the chicken going here. I'm going to kind of get this other stuff maybe rocking and rolling while that's cooking. I'm going to use this chicken that I have that I'm going to kind of do for my husband. I'm going to do the tortilla, the tortilla shell. I'm going to take the chicken and I'm going to eat one because I love these. Thank you, Lexi, for providing me with the awesome, this is Costco chicken bites, the Kirkland brand. It's got a little bit of kick to it. They're pretty good. They're really good. And we do them in the air fryer. We have a bag of them, and whenever, this is a good thing when I don't really feel like cooking. I throw this in and we could toss it into either the barbecue sauce or the buffalo sauce, and we have a meal we can eat, and it's really good. And I have my knife. I'm going to take And I can probably put these in here like this, but I want to get it so when you're biting it, you're getting little pieces, you're not biting and pulling out a whole chunk. So I'm gonna just chop this up so that it's smaller pieces. Like that. Just do all of mine. I might not use all of them. And as you notice with the chicken, I'm just letting it cook. I am not flipping it. Please do not be a flipper and constantly flip your food. That drives me crazy. I hate it when I see people do that. And I hate it when I do it myself, because sometimes I catch myself doing it. And I have to distract myself with doing other things and just let it do its thing. The optimal thing is to have it cook on one side, flip it over, cook on the other side, and then have it completely done. So you only should flip your food once, technically. That should be the objective when you're cooking on the griddle, is to only flip whatever it is you're cooking once. That's the same with the smash burgers, the chicken breast, what else do I cook? The different stuff once. That's all you want to do. Okay, remember I'm using a different pair of tongs now that I'm doing. This looks pretty good. You can see, I'm going to switch the camera around here. So the bottom side is brown, like you can see that it's cooked on the bottom, but you can see the rawness on the top of each one of these. So the bottom looks pretty good. It's cooking. We're doing good. I'm going to flip it. So I'm going to just kind of check. We don't have like brown, like it's not like golden brown color, which it's okay because of the marinade. The marinade in here, we got a little bit of color on that. So maybe I probably should have let these cook. This one here is fine, but I probably should have let that cook just a little bit more to get a little bit of the brown color on that. I'm just going to rinse my tongs. Because the worst thing you want to do is get anybody sick with the raw meat. That is one of the big things that with chicken you can cross-contaminate very easily, and you want to make sure that you do not cross-contaminate and get people sick with the food that you're making. So I'm going back to here. I have my shell. I'm probably not going to use all of this because that is a little bit of meat for what I'm doing. So I'm maybe going to split it up into two. I'll do two. I'm putting the chicken, as you can see there, in the center. I have room all the way around. I'm going to add some cheese to the top of this, like that. And then I'm going to do some lettuce just to give it a little bit of crunch. And I'm kind of hoping that it doesn't like wilt the lettuce. That's one thing that I don't like, is wilted lettuce. I'm doing this for my husband, so I'm using the iceberg lettuce versus the romaine lettuce, because I'm going to do like a chicken Caesar wrap is what I'm going to do with this here. So on this, to fold it, I'm going to try to get it so you can see, I'm going to fold in the sides here. And actually what I'm going to do, I'm going to push this forward just a little bit, just a little touch. So I have more room on the back side and not as much on this front side, but I have room here. So I'm going to fold this in. I'm going to use my thumbs here. You got to kind of multitask when you do this. I'm pushing this down And then I'm going to grab this and I'm making sure that these don't pop out. That is one thing you don't want them to pop out, which they will have a tendency to do. And you'll have a tendency for this filling to go that way, and you want to kind of guide it so that that filling stays put. And you want to just quickly roll it up. Oh, it ripped on me, which is what I didn't want to happen. Which it looks like it's going to be okay, so I'm just going to go with it. And there we go. That's how the wrap I'm going to take. And then I'm going to take and just put it on the griddle, and I'm going to grill it. I'm going to toast both sides of it. And this is where, if you had, which I don't have, if you had a grill press, this would be perfect to put on there. I'm going to see, what can I'm going to use a plate. I'm going to take the plate, and so that it just gently presses down on there, and so we'll get that good grill part on there. And I'm trying to get that cheese melted on the inside, and that's why it's good to keep this low so that you can toast each side of it, and you have your chicken, your cheese. You want to try to get that the chicken is not hot, but it's not cold either. I'm not using cold chicken. So it just came out a few minutes ago, so I was able to cut it and work with it. The chicken, let's go back to this chicken here. This seems like this one is pretty good. It's golden brown on each side. These I'm just going to let cook. I'm not going to rush these. But you don't want to overcook them also. I suggest using the digital probe. This I use all the time. I love this. This is Inkbird, but you can use any brand. There's all different kinds of really good brands out there. And it has a digital reading on it, so it's almost instantaneously. I always check my chicken. That's one thing with being a chef. You know, they are like, you know, you should know how it cooks and this and that. With chicken, I don't want to take any chances. And for me, it doesn't make any difference whether I check it or not. It's just like I'm pro using a thermometer to make sure that your chicken is cooked properly, but I also want to make sure that I'm not overcooking the chicken. There's nothing worse than overcooked chicken. So I'm going to the thickest part of the chicken, and I'm only going like halfway. I'm only going to the middle. I'm not going through and touching the griddle. In this here, yeah, we're at like 190. We're almost at 200, which is more than enough. We don't want it to get too high. And this one here is like 150. So we're not there yet with the thickest part. This one is thinner, so it may be, it's not quite. It's not at 160. And this is where, you know, it kind of looks like it's done. It's done, but when you check the inside, it's not. 150. So we still got 15 more degrees. You want the chicken to get up to 165. You want it at 165, but you don't want it too much past that. That piece was past that. So this may be a little bit drier than these coming off of here. And this one here is, it's thicker. I actually would have thought that this would have been the last one to come off, but it's testing at 180. And this is where, yeah, this small piece here, and you would have thought this small piece would have been cooked way before that bigger, thicker piece. And this one isn't even at 150 yet. So this here is a good example of the hot spots on your griddle. The way the chicken is facing, like the thicker part, if it's facing towards the edge, my hottest part, oops, I got to check I have my, I'm going to wash my hands there. Ooh, look at that. I don't know if you could see that. Let's go a little bit closer for you. nice golden brown, which is just what we want. I'm going to put this, flip it over and put this back on it to get that on the other side there. I'm getting water all over my computer here. And you know what? I forgot to send my email. I'll have to do it later. I apologize to my email group. I have a group of healthy griddle cooking group that's watching this series that I'm doing, and I normally send out an email beforehand, but I kind of was rushing to get going and cooking on this that I forgot to send it out. So I apologize. I'll send it out when I get done with the broadcast. And I'm just gonna double check these again. So with the griddle cooking, you're gonna have hot spots on it. So just almost done, but not quite. And this probably should be done. Yep, this is done. I'm going to take that off. It's just at 165 there. And that one's not quite. It's like that there's a thick part of it, and it's just not quite done in the middle. And that one either. That one's just, you know, and you don't want to rush this process at all. So I'm going to take this off here and remove this one. Nice, we got golden brown color there. We got golden brown on that side. I'm just going to let this sit here, and we're just going to keep on making. I'm going to cut this up, this chicken that I have here. Kind of hard. I'm going to go like that. I'm going to end up wiping my board here because I'm just going to cut these up in pieces, because remember, when I'm eating this, I just want small bites. When I'm eating this, I don't want to pull out. There's nothing worse than biting into a wrap like this and the whole chicken piece comes out with one bite. And then you're trying to stuff it in, and that's not what I'm going for. I'm just going to cut this up. I can tell this is nice and juicy. It's cooked perfect. I don't see any pink to it at all. I'm going to try it. It's really good. It's nice and tender. I'm going to move this down here. And then because I got this board wet here, or from the juices from the chicken, to do the wrap, I'm going to make sure to clean that off before I don't want to put my wrap on there. I'm going to just double check my chicken here. There's probably both of them are probably, yep, that's done there. I do have a little bit of golden brown color on that one. I'm going to actually set them here. So remember the thickest part. Yeah, that's done. That's done there. Now this little tiny one you would have thought would have been the first one, but it does have a thicker part to it. Yep, and that's done. That's done. See, it didn't take too long. What did we start at? 11 minutes? Probably about 15 minutes for the chicken to cook. Okay, I'm going to just wipe the board here clean because I don't want my wrap. So I'm going to do a chicken Caesar wrap. And this is my healthier version. You can use the air fryer chicken if you want. I'm going for a little bit healthier, and I'm just using the marinated chicken breast. I've got it cut up. And remember, we're going to, having a hard time. So we're going to go, and you might not be able to see this. We're going to leave all sides, but I'm leaving more on this back side than on the front side with this. And two, if you stuff this too full, you will have a hard time closing it and wrapping it. That's might have been when it ripped on me earlier, the first one. It may have been I might have had just a little bit too much filling in it. So I'm doing the cheese there, and actually I should have I'm going to do probably a couple of these. I should have did Parmesan cheese with this when doing the chicken Caesar one. But I'm just going to go, why don't we'll just do, I'm going to do regular lettuce, the shredded cheese. And this one I'm going to take and I'm going to put just a little bit of ranch into it, not a lot. So this is going to be just the chicken, the ranch, the grilled chicken ranch wrap. So fold the insides in. This you got to do quick, but now you just kind of hold that and you just wrap it, spin it just like that. And there you go. You want this seam on the bottom so that it holds in place. I'm just going to take and put this on the griddle. I'm going to put my plate on top of it just to hold it down a little bit so it adheres to the griddle a little bit more. And I forgot my Parmesan cheese. So I have the pre-shredded Parmesan cheese. You can use, I do have the brick, but I don't want to mess with that right now. I just want to get rocking and rolling on this. I'm going to use the Parmesan. So now we're going to do the chicken Caesar wrap. I'm going to use the shell like that. I'm going to add a little bit more. I got stuff in my belly there. The chicken there. I'm going to cut up just this small one here to add just a little bit more chicken to it. Like that. Gonna wash my hands because my hands, and that's one thing that I always try to do when I'm cooking. Keep your hands clean, and it just makes everything so much easier when you're working. I'm gonna do the Parmesan cheese sprinkle over top of it because the chicken is still warm, so that kind of will help with melting the cheese. I'm gonna do some of the romaine lettuce on the inside here, like that. And I might have this stuff too full. I like the chicken Caesar, and so I'm gonna use the Caesar dressing, and I'm going to show you. This is what I'm using. This comes also in a light version. You can try any kind that you want. This is what I found that I really like, and and I'm horrible at pronouncing stuff. Marzetti. Marzetti. We get the different dill dips in this brand. We really like it, and we really like the Caesar dressing. So that's what I'm using in here. So I have the grilled chicken, the Parmesan cheese, the romaine lettuce, and I'm just gonna put this over top of it. You don't want a lot because again, we're trying to go for healthy. We're trying to not use as much, and use both hands here, and I'm just carefully gonna, and I'm making sure to keep that tucked in a little bit, and I'm just rolling it so that the seam is on the bottom. I have the seam to the bottom here. It actually was a pretty good roll. It turned out really good. Everything's on the inside. I'm just gonna take this, I have one already. I'm going to, kind of smoosh it down. This one's probably good. I'm going to flip it over. Yeah, we don't have it's not super dark but it's crispy. It's going to be crispy when you eat it. And I'm actually going to take this plate and I'm going to put these together, and I'm going to just kind of smoosh just a little bit so that it adheres to the griddle like that. And I'm going to make another one. I'm going to keep on going here. I'm got enough to do. I'm going to do another chicken Caesar. In this too, I guess if you didn't want the lettuce, you know, you could do it without the lettuce. I don't know. Sometimes I'm really torn with, I really don't like the wilted lettuce. I'm really not a fan of wilted lettuce at all. So with a recipe like this, I'm really hesitant on eating it, but we're giving it a go here. So let's see. I'm gonna do another chicken Caesar because that's the best thing to do. And actually, I have this shell here, and this like is hard from being in the wrapper, kind of funky. These aren't old because I checked the expiration date. They haven't expired. I just actually bought these the other day, but I'm not going to use that because this is going to break apart when I try to wrap it. So I'm just going to toss that aside. I do have more. I do have another package in here, so I'm just going to get out my other package here and use one of these. And there we go. And they're kind of wanting to stick. This pack is like, this is wanting to stick a little bit, so I'm just going to pull it out and just use that one there. All right, so we're going to make another chicken Caesar wrap here. Let's see if I can get this so it's on camera for you. I've got my chicken pieces, and this actually might be a lot of chicken, but we're going to go with it. This is going to be a puffy one, and hopefully it won't break apart on me. I'm using Parmesan, the shredded Parmesan cheese. Just like that. You can use as little or as much as you want. The goal is to try to be healthy, try to use, you know, get your greens in there, get the vegetables. And you can add like anything else on this if you want. You know, this is completely customizable. You know, I was kind of thinking maybe like some doing carrot strips, but with what I was doing, it kind of didn't work with my theme kind of that I was doing. So, okay, as you can see, it's kind of falling apart on me because I do have a lot of filling in here. So hopefully we can get this wrapped without it really breaking apart. I am using both hands and just gently wrapping. And it's actually going to be a pretty full one. It's actually a full, just like that. And it's barely coming together. It's kind of wanting to poke out, but I'm going to get this on the griddle and get this. We have, this first one should be done. I'm going to get my hands here. I'm going to take this one off because this first one should be done. Nice golden brown color. I'm going to set that there. This one I'm going to flip. Ooh, that's nice golden brown. And this is actually the perfect temperature. Oh, that one I kind of was going to flip and I shouldn't have. So it kind of popped out a little bit, but we're just going to smoosh it down and hopefully that the filling doesn't completely come out of it. And then I'm going to do my last one. I have one more chicken. I'm going to go this way. So I have my air fried chicken here that I'm going to use. And I am going to do a chicken Caesar with this. So I'm going to use the Parmesan cheese because I did one with the lettuce, the other lettuce. I'm just going to do some both ways like that. Some romaine lettuce in here like that. I'm going to use some of the dressing over top. And I'm not like overpowering it with the dressing. I'm just using the dressing just as a little bit of flavor to it. And I don't want to add, because you can add a ton of calories by overdoing it on the dressing. That is one thing that you don't want to do. And it's something that you can easily save calories just by doing a little bit, by using a little bit. So I'm gently rolling this, making sure not to crack it. This one turned out perfect. Perfect. The ends are tucked in good. We got the ends in. We've got it like that. I'm just going to add it to the griddle. This first one should be done here. And basically you're just going for golden brown and you're warming it up a little bit. Perfect. It's golden brown on both. Whew, and it's warm. It's definitely hot. So this first one I need to flip, which it might be hard because it was kind of, the stuff was coming out of it. So let's see if it's going to work out or if it's going to, no, it's not. It's holding its shape. It's not 100% perfect, but we haven't lost it, which is, I'm kind of tucking it there, and I'm going to put the plate on it. And you want to be careful because this plate is getting warm. And if it is, you know, make sure to use hot pads or swap it out and get a different plate there. I'm going to wipe my board here really quick. Get that just like that. And I'm going to wipe it down there. You want a clean surface. You don't want to get all of your stuff mixed up in there. And I am going to wipe my knife here because I want to use this knife. This is a pretty good knife for cutting here. And I'm going to cut these. I'm going to do the seam side down. I'm going to go in an angle. If you see, I don't know if the close up here, if that is too close. Let's see. Go here like that. So I'm going to kind of go in an angle here, and I'm going to gently cut it and go all the way through. Look, oops, look how yummy that looks. This was the grilled chicken Caesar, just like that. So I'm going to add it. You can add it to the plate here. If you want to do a side, you know, if you have any filling that falls out, just kind of tuck it in there. That's fine. If you want to do like a little side dish, I have these like little bowls here like this, and I'm maybe just gonna do just this small one, and you can add just a little bit, but remember you can add a ton of extra calories that way, so you kind of want to make sure that you're not doing too much. And you can either just eat. That does taste like just like a chicken Caesar salad. It's warm. It's got a little bit, and the lettuce isn't wilted. That's one thing I was worried about, was a wilted lettuce, and it's not. Man, that's good. That's really good. Chicken Caesar wrap. Really good. I'm going to go like that because I kind of want to take a picture. I want to make sure that I get a picture, but let's go back to here because I don't want these to be too done. And that was the one that kind of popped out there. We'll call it an open-faced wrap, which actually looks really, really good. Just like that. And then this we got to flip over. because we only have the one side there, so I'm flipping it over. I'm going to put that there like that to warm it up. And I'm going to set that aside there. I want to make sure to get a good picture of that. Like that. And I'm going to cut into this other, is this other one? Can't remember which one. This first one. So this was just the chicken ranch. Look how good that is with the air fried chicken. And this is what I would definitely, this looks really, really good. Really good. I would do the cup of ranch with this and serve it like that. Look how delicious that looks. See if I can get a closer up here. Look how good that looks. Really nice. You could see the lettuce is not, it's not wilted. The cheese looks melted in it. It's golden brown. It's got the crispy crust there. Perfect. Okay. I am going to take this off here like that. Nice and golden brown. Make sure to shut your griddle off there. So I held the button down until all the display is off of there. And this looks like it's really, really hard to clean. Look how caked on that is. Look at that. But it's super, super easy to clean. I did a video about, where am I at? I just did a video on cleaning that. So make sure to watch that video because it's super, it looks like it's super tough to clean. Just let this cool. Put this in a bin of soapy water and let that soak off. Super easy to clean. I give you some tips on what you need to use to clean that. And I hope you guys like this. Let me see here. And I have all of, yeah. Well, I have the chicken, the grilled chicken Caesar wrap here. And then I have the air fried chicken air fried chicken ranch wrap. So I made, mix and match, kind of did a few different ones. Go experiment with it. Use the different ingredients that you have on hand and experiment with these wraps and have fun with it. I hope you guys like this recipe. If you want to subscribe to my page, go to my YouTube channel, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications if you want to be notified when I go live. And go to my website, FromMichiganToTheTable.com. You can also go to MyGriddleSecrets.com and get all kinds of griddle related stuff. I have a recipe roundup page where you can get over 140 Blackstone griddle recipes to look at, to choose from. And that should be bookmarked. That's something that you really want to bookmark so you can come back to it again and again. And I hope that you guys have a great weekend. We're going to be going to watch the football game in a little bit. I will see you tomorrow. I'm not quite sure what I'm doing, but we will bring another live griddle recipe, healthy griddle recipe to you. And we will see you. Have a great weekend. Bye.